Well, welcome fans and foes, viewers and haters. It's me, your cinema simpleton, and Hollywood can't fool an idiot these days, can they? Well, unfortunately, they have tried. Repeatedly, haven't they? I'm talking about cliches. I started this new series, Shame the Cliche, because it's something that film critics and moviegoers have to put up with so much. And we're tired of it. We're sick of seeing these in every genre. Horror movies, action movies, comedies, romantic comedies. I think the only time you don't see a cliche is a friggin' documentary. And sometimes they work pretty hard to put those in with the whole, like, what's that movie, Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed, where you have the whole, like, cinema or audience clapping, yeah, your cause is so brilliant, oh my gosh, stuff like that. Even documentaries have friggin' cliches now. So I want to talk about how you can have a cliche or multiple cliches in your movie and have them saved, like be able to forgive them. I'm especially addressing a movie that I recently saw that made me want to do this, and that's the movie Warrior. It's got Tom Hardy, Nick Nolte, and Joel Edgerton in it, and they're remarkably amazing actors in this thing. In fact, if this movie doesn't get nominated for an Academy Award, I would say that one of these guys should get an Academy Award, or at least a Golden Globe, because it's really good performances here. But unfortunately, didn't get nominated for not Academy, Golden Globe. So what you got with a movie like Warrior? I'm gonna lightly skim over the plot. It's basically your Cain and Abel brother kind of story arc, where there are these two brothers who are fighting in an MMA championship. Now, when I was watching this, first movie that I had an image of that's kind of a polar opposite to Warrior was Never Back Down. If you've seen Never Back Down, you know that that movie is full of cliches. Every cliche line in the book. And this movie has some cliche lines too. But they don't have like a mountain of them, like freaking Never Back Down. And the other thing is, here's the big defining difference of why Never Back Down sucked and Warrior was good, in my opinion. Warrior had remarkable actors. These are actors that were in cliched situations and could still make you feel like you could relate with them. That you were like a fly on the wall. Like you were, like literally, camera angles have you this close to them. And you could feel like the raw emotion that they're going through. Never Back Down. The reason the cliches were really weighing down the movie, made it really suck, is because the direction was sloppy and because the actors were, let's say, young. Let's just be nice and say young. Very young. And the other thing is, with Warrior, you've got relatable cliches. Now, Never Back Down had some relatable cliches, but this also was because the actors were young. What do you got in the Warrior? You've got sibling rivalry. You've got tough father. You've got marital problems. You've got fighting to pay your bills. You've got, hiding your emotional scars, stuff like that. And, that's all stuff that anybody can go, like, lots of people, I'm sure, people watching this video, I've gone through stuff like that. I'm using my sister's laptop right now. Sibling rivalry. Like cliches, the thing is, if you got too many of them, which this movie had a decent share of, but it wasn't, The other thing is, if you repeatedly mention your cliche, like, these are two brothers fighting each other, so we're going to remind the audience 20 times, because that's what great script writing does. Then you're going to be banging your friggin' head against the seat in front of you, like I do every time I go to the movies and see these pieces of crap. So the other thing is, if you got really good actors, and really good direction, the direction has to work with the acting. And I know that you're probably saying, duh, but there's a lot of movies where you've got a good actor and a bad director, or bad actor and good director. And, it's not like these two opposites, outweighing the other to make a balance or anything like that. Because they're going to be fighting with these characters, and you can feel that fight, as the actor is just practically saying these lines through their teeth. Like, you can feel that, hostility or something. Like Green Lantern, I can tell that these are actors who are doing better jobs in much better movies. So, I think that the majority, like, okay, how do I put this? Like, if you can really craft a scene well, then you're not crafting the scene with the script. You're crafting the scene with the acting, the lighting, the editing. Well, editing is in post-production, but the direction, all that stuff, and the music. Well, that again, post-production. But you know what I mean. Like, okay, let's talk about production, acting, lighting, and direction. And direction and lighting are pretty much the same thing. Like, they fall into the same category. But you know what I mean. If you've got an actor who can really pull you right into the moment, make you feel like you should give a damn about this character, awesome. If you got a director that can really give you angles, like really big close-ups like this, to make you feel the raw emotion, bingo! You've got yourself two elements that are going to work together and make the audience like actually enjoy what's going on. And what else I got here? Keeping some of these actors really close together really helped with this movie. Because there's too many scenes where you feel like, like the body language or something like that. Body language really helps, because the other thing with Hollywood scripts is that they feel like unless they speak out what the person is, feeling, then they're not going to, then the audience doesn't understand. Because apparently we're all stupid. But body language and just those subtle expressions, like I mentioned Nick Nolte, Tom Hardy, and Joel Edgerton. Jennifer Morrison was also in this movie. Really good actress. She's only in here for maybe half the film or something like that, but she's got an ample amount of screen time, and she's able to... There was one scene where she has the cliche, the wife who's doing the Adrian Balboa thing. I don't want to support you in this fight. But no, like, she has that moment, and she pulled it off well. Like, you can tell that, like, in her body language and stuff like that. It's not an Oscar-winning moment or anything like that, but it's it's one of those moments that you're gonna dread because you've seen it a million times in these movies, but she was able to make it believable, which is, for something that an actor or an actress has to face, like, probably 8 times in their career, at least. That's if you have a good career. Then, she's able to she's able to, like, make her performance pretty heartwarming. Like, you're able to relate with her. You're able to give her the lines that will work. And, like, you don't want to beat the audience over the head. I'm upset, so I'm going to pout. Or, like, I'm going to storm away because I am angry, or something like that. Like, body language. Body language means the body showing its kind of language or something like that. Like, it's in the subtleties. Subtlety! I'm begging you, Hollywood writers. And where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Also, if you keep the cliches very personal, like, this is a very kind of tightly knit cast. Like, the main characters, the majority of characters to focus on, there's probably 8 or something like that. If you keep a very tight-knit cast, and you've got these, like, conflicts that are very personal, like, you're the fly on the wall, and you know about them, and only until the last minute are the, like, millions of people watching gonna know what's really going on, then you feel the heart of that. You can feel like are going through this because you're connected with this person. And the other people who are watching, they're more of an audience than you are. Like, you feel like you're not even an audience member anymore. You feel like you're almost like an invisible character. And that those people, all the millions of people watching this fight, they just know that they're there for a fight. And they don't know any of the heart and conflict beneath it. So that is how I think that you can really make cliches not weigh down the movie. So I just wanted to let you guys know, I'm not a cliche hater. I think that some cliches have been in some of my favorite movies, like Slumdog Millionaire. That's a favorite movie of mine, and I know it's got cliches. I know it's got, like, the whole destiny thing. So I think that there's ways of working around it, and I enjoy people discussing it, like, from a narrative or a dramatic perspective. Tell me how you think that cliches can be put into movies and not have them suck. And just write in the comments below, and yeah. I'll see you guys later. First video of 2012.